Welcome to the Dadcast Podcast. I'm your host, Lavelle Lemonnier, and as a Christian man, a husband, a father, a grandfather, a business owner, a professor, and a proud U.S. Army veteran, I've gained a lot of unique perspectives on some of life's issues. So this podcast is really designed to give a dad's perspective on everything from A to Z. All right, we're going to get right into our dad joke for the day. Are you ready? Hold on tight. Let me get a drum roll, please. My wife and I decided we don't want kids. If you're interested, please contact us immediately to arrange dropping them off. All right, folks, it's a dad joke. Funny to some, not so much to others. Hey, let me give a great big thank you and a shout out to my lovely wife, Dr. Gabrielle Lemonnier, who is the co-content manager and co-creator of this broadcast. Thank you so much. All right, folks, let's get right into it. Hey, Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Has this guy lost his mind? What's really going on? Man, this dude yesterday, that would have been on Tuesday, March the 2nd. This guy comes out and makes a statement. I'm looking at his Twitter page right now. He said, "I just announced Texas is open 100%. Everything. I also ended the statewide mask mandate." Dude, have you lost your mind? Usually, folks, I don't say a lot one way or the other about all the crazy things that are going on in our nation. I let you have your say on it. But I've got to take a stance on this one. Man, there is no way that we should be removing the mask mandate. Now, you might say, why do you think that? Why do you know that? We should have a right to wear a mask or not wear a mask. It should be our choice to whether or not we want to wear a mask. We want to protect ourselves. We want to protect others. Whatever the case may be. Hey, I'm a numbers guy, and the statistics don't lie. There's a guy from channel, from ABC 13, Ted Oberg. I'm looking at his Facebook page and at a blog he made. He said, in lifting business restrictions and mask mandate, Office of Governor Greg Abbott said Tuesday, the state is doing better than when he last eased COVID restrictions on October the 7th, 2020. You can debate the necessity of restrictions and masks. The change in COVID-related health stats since October the 7th are shown here. Here's what he shows. He said he has a graph that shows since Governor Abbott last made his ease of restrictions in October, COVID-related deaths are up 91%. COVID-related hospitalizations are up 59%. COVID positivity rates are up 63%. And total COVID cases are down only 7%. That's since October in the Lone Star State, in the state of Texas. So maybe I'm missing something, folks. Maybe I don't see it. Maybe I don't understand how statistics and probability works. Or maybe this is just one of the worst decisions in the history of this state and the history of our great nation. There is no way that we can justify opening this state back up 100% with spring break just around the corner. We know that people aren't being tested at the same rate they were being tested previously. We know that people's mentality has been changing since they know that there's a vaccine out. And we know that people are not taking the vaccine, at least not in the numbers that we need in order to get a herd immunity starting. So it's pretty ridiculous to think, folks, that this thing is going to end. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I missed the memo. Maybe the pandemic is over and I just don't know about it. Do you know about it? Have you heard that the pandemic is over? If you have, please let me know so I can make sure to act accordingly. But I think what's going on here is that we're going to have to learn how to navigate this pandemic under a new set of playing rules. Man, it's ridiculous. Hey, everybody is saying something about this. I'm looking at KHOU Channel 11 at their website right now, and the headline says, "Premature and misguided. Houston leaders criticize Governor Abbott's decision to lift COVID restrictions." Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner said, "Every time we start moving in the right direction, the governor steps in and sets us back." There are many of the Houston leaders across the aisle who are not in agreement with this decision. It's too soon. It's too much. Harris County Judge Linda Hidalgo said the decision puts Texans at risk of another surge. I'm quoting her here. She says, "What I see here is a premature and misguided discussion putting our community at risk, and it's unnecessary because we're headed where we need to go." She pointed out that Harris County's positivity rate is more than double the ideal level, and 25% of ICU patients in Harris County have COVID. Of course, Harris County is the biggest county in the state of Texas and definitely is worth paying attention to. There's so many things that we can look at when we talk about this, but man, if the leaders are saying that something's wrong with this and they have much more information, we hope, than we have, maybe something is wrong with this decision. County Judge K.P. George joined the critics and urged residents to continue wearing masks and practicing social distancing. He says this, "Science shows us that communities are freer and fare better when more citizens wear a simple mask. In Fort Bend, we continue to listen to the doctors, facts, and the science." That's a pretty strong statement, folks. I guess what we have to do is we let the science tell us what to do and not politics or politicians or special interest groups or political persuasion. These things cannot lead us in making decisions for the greater people. I'm looking at the Texas Tribune right now. You know what the headline says there? Texas's local officials blast Governor Greg Abbott for irresponsible action of lifting the coronavirus restrictions. Everywhere you look, it seems like he's the only one, along with a few of his supporters, who think this is actually a good idea. Mayors and county judges in some of Texas's largest urban areas have criticized Governor Greg Abbott over his decision to lift the statewide face mask mandate next week, saying it contradicts the health officials' advice as infections continue to spread throughout the state, which averaged over 200 reported deaths a day over the last week. Are you hearing me? More than 200 reported deaths a day. Last week, not last month, not 3-4 months ago, not at the height of the pandemic, but last week. Fort Worth Mayor Betsy Price, a fellow Republican, called Abbott's order premature and asked him to allow more people to get the vaccine. She says, "I'm calling on Governor Abbott to open up additional vaccine tier categories so that more people are eligible to get a vaccine if they want one." Price said in a statement, "As the state's directive has changed, so must our response. Now more than ever, vaccines and testing must be readily available." Folks, you got to hear me when I tell you, this is no joke. We've got to get this thing under control, and we've got to be smart about it. Man, I've got the first shot of the vaccine. My wife has gotten it. My mother-in-law has gotten it. We're going to go and get our booster shot and round this thing up. Does that mean I'm going to take my mask off and walk around just freely as if it doesn't exist, or if there isn't a possibility that some new strand of this thing can't get into my system? Absolutely not. This is not the time to back down. This is not the time to throw in the towel and say, "Hey guys, everything's hunky-dory now. We can just go back to life the way it was prior to the pandemic." No, sir. No, ma'am. It's not going to happen. That's not what's going on right now. Folks, we've got to be smart. We got to put our foot to the pedal, and we've got to make these lawmakers hear us. Hey, I'm getting all riled up about this, but let's take a moment, calm down, and let you hear a word about our sponsors. I want to thank our great sponsors for season 2. Hey, we've got some of the very best businesses in the area. Our first sponsor is Miss Muzz Link Specialties. The best, listen what I tell you, the best homemade links and boudin this side of the bayou. Man, they taste so good. You've got to try them out. You can reach them at 832-589-0709. You can also find them on Facebook. Hey, how about Just the Beginning Event Planners? This is the one-stop shop for all of your special event planning needs. For a fresh start and a new beginning, you can contact Just the Beginning Event Planners, Michelle Latulis, at 409-466-9826. Hey, you have any consulting needs? I've got the person, the couple for you. Calvin Menifee and his lovely wife, they own Phenomenal Solutions. These consultants provide the skills you need to enhance your personal and professional life. They specialize in resilience training, compassion fatigue and burnout, dynamic mindfulness and accessible yoga, processing circles, trauma-informed practices, and work-life balance. You can contact them on their website. It's PHEENOMENAL.com. That's phenomenal.com. Again, it's Calvin Menifee. You can find him on Facebook under Cal Fee, PHEE. Thanks again to our great sponsors. Let's return to our episode. All right, folks, we're back. Hey, you heard me I guess getting a little excited about this because this is a serious thing, and we've got to get this under control. But look, we're back now, and we're going to talk some more statistics because I think you need the facts in order to know how to proceed. I'm looking at the Houston Chronicle, and there's a vaccine tracker on the Houston Chronicle's website that allows you to get some up-to-date statistical information about what's going on with the COVID-19 vaccine. So right now, 3.88 million people in Texas have gotten their first shot. That's almost 4 million people, 3.8 million. And it's about 13 only. Let me say that it only represents about 13% of the Texas population. And only 7%, just over 2 million, have gotten the second shot, the booster shot. In the United States, 51 million people have received the first shot. Just over 26 million received the second shot. And that's out of 331 million as a population. So only 15.5% of the U.S. population has gotten their first shot, and only just under 8%, 7.9%, have been fully vaccinated. In Texas, again, only 13% have gotten their first shot, and only 7% are fully vaccinated. If that's not enough for you, if we go to our neighbors in Louisiana, 14.9% of them have gotten the first shot, 8.3% of them have gotten the second shot. Well, maybe that's not enough information. Let's move over to our other neighbors in Oklahoma. 18% of them have gotten the first shot. 10.2% have gotten the second shot. Why am I telling you this? Because it looks like our neighboring states are getting their shots at a higher percentage than we are. Yet Texas is the first state in the United States to remove the mask mandate and to open businesses back up at 100% capacity. Something about those numbers just doesn't make sense to me. About 72% of the vaccine doses shipped to Texas have been administered. National distributors have shipped 8.2 million vaccine doses to Texas. The state has administered 5.9%. If we look at it by county, some startling numbers as well. Let me pull it up here for you. in Harris County. Let's see, Harris County, 235,596 people have been partially vaccinated. That's only 5% of the estimated population in Harris County, and about 6.28% of the population in Harris County has been fully vaccinated. If we look at another large county here in the Houston area, Fort Bend County, 6% of the Fort Bend County population has been partially vaccinated, while 10% has been totally or completely vaccinated. So when we think about these numbers, again, they are alarming. And what's even more startling is that Texas nears the bottom for vaccines per capita. So, in Texas, we've received the second most vaccine doses in the country. Texas ranks near the bottom when it comes to doses per 100,000 residents, coming in at 49th out of all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. Folks, that's some startling statistics. Dire in some cases. Here we are, one of the largest states in the United States, and we're the first to have the mask mandate removed and to open businesses back up to 100%. But yet we are at the bottom of states when it comes to doses per capita. Everybody's not looking out for your best interests. So what do we have to do? We have to be diligent about protecting our health. We have to mask up. We have to get vaccinated. We have to use social distancing, even if the requirement is removed. I implore you to please be careful. This pandemic is serious. A lot of people have lost their lives, over 500,000 Americans, many of whom those listening to this podcast have known. Family members, friends, extended family members, acquaintances, co-workers. And then if we include those who are still living but have had the virus and could have easily been one of the casualties of this virus, then those numbers would probably double. So folks, we've got to be on our P's and Q's when it comes to this thing. And I just want you to be safe. I want you to protect yourselves, protect your loved ones, and do the things that are necessary to stay safe. If we're going to reach herd immunity, we have to get 90% of the population vaccinated. Don't worry. I shouldn't say don't worry, but don't let the fear of this vaccine being something that is going to be detrimental to people of color, to low-income people. Don't let the fear of that possibility keep you from getting vaccinated. The reality is that this vaccine can save lives. And so let's go out, let's get it done. Hey, folks, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time to listen to this podcast. Thank you for being a faithful part of the Dadcast Nation. And thank you for voicing your opinions about the topics that we cover. Continue to do so. Shout us out on social media. Send your comments in to comments at dadcastpodcast.com. Find us on Instagram, on Twitter or Facebook, and send us your comments there. We're going to go live about this topic. We are going to discuss this on a Zoom conferencing platform so that I can hear from you, see your faces, and talk to you about this important topic. That we need to have dialogue about it. And so I think it's important enough for us to go live on it. Hey, remember, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. Go to Spotify, go to Pandora, go to all of your streaming platforms, and make sure you subscribe to the Dadcast podcast. Make sure you share the podcast with those in your social media circles, and please give us a 5-star rating. Thank you again. I look forward to talking to you very soon. Until then, peace, and I'm out.